And almost to back it up a little bit, just going back to selection, I'm thinking of sow farms right now, but the problem is on finishing pigs. But as I think of sow farms, I think about good selection, but also like heavy sows. But transitioning back to finishing pigs here, do we know if you mentioned like the over supplementation, which causes to increase the bone ash, at least in some of the studies that I've seen, right? Do we know if that excess could make the bone too firm or too strong, and that could be a problem, or we don't know quite yet, or that would be a okay hypothesis at least?
I think I would list it still as a hypothesis that the over supplementation of mineral could affect especially the joints and the cartilage. Now, some of my colleagues would disagree with me on this, especially some of the veterinary pathologists, and I've had good discussion and interaction over the years with them. So that's why I would still list it as a hypothesis. But if we look at mechanical testing and you look at bone, that the trabecular bone just beneath the cartilage, if that bone becomes too stiff and too rigid, that may cause damage to the cartilage. So what we see that ends up as a final lesion may appear to be a cartilage lesion, but that may have actually occurred because the bone did not yield enough and bend enough as loads were being applied that allowed some damage to come into the cartilage. So that hypothesis has been around for a while. It's very difficult, I think, to prove that the mechanical testing and stiffness of the subchondral bone may actually lead to some of the lesions that we see. And one of the reasons, that's such a difficult area is with the techniques that we have to measure those lesions. Those techniques are often applied, are used to assess the bone after the animal has been euthanized and the bones have been excised and looked at in a necropsy setting. So some technologies now that we have quite an interest in here that we're working on would be to develop methods that would allow us to assess the bone before the animal is euthanized. In other words, follow the progression of those throughout the lifetime of the animal. And we've done some preliminary work now in that area of what we might do to even that subchondral bone and regions of interest just beneath the cartilage. So it's an area of interest, and I think a lot of reasons to pursue that, but to say that, yes, this is how much calcium and phosphorus you need or how much bone ash you need, and you should not go beyond that point, that's a very difficult statement to make that I don't think can be fully supported at this time with the data that we have.